Damn, hustling.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam the like button. What's up, guys? I am live on YouTube. If you want to see my charts and get the better viewing experience, TikTok has lost its privileges for a little while. Matt says, Supski, is this the on-chain talks demo? That's going to be tomorrow. So that got postponed till tomorrow. Unfortunately. Sorry about that. But yeah, that is postponed till tomorrow. 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow that we'll be doing the on-chain demo tomorrow. How's it going? Fantastic. What's up from Charlotte? 10 out of 10. What's up, guys? See y'all on YouTube. See you there, Dustin. Yeah, so let's get into it. Make sure you guys are spamming the like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. Pittsburgh, no music. If you want the stepdad, if you want the high viewing experience with music, with my charts, my overlays, all that, it's on YouTube at YaBoySkey, YaBoySkey. TikTok just doesn't know how to act, man, and we're gonna take a break from doing that. I still have the ability. I might give it another test run in a few days, but for now, like I'm fed up with every time I go live and I show my charts, they want to take it down. So I am live on YouTube right now. Damn, lost privileges. That's right. It's a privilege, not a right. Privilege, not a right. Supski, what's up, fam? How's everyone feeling out of 10? What's up, man? We are up or are we crashing? I mean, it's just like, so I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. Let's get into the charts. It's still the same little uptrend. So, we haven't quite, again, we're not quite out of the woods on the macro, but on the micro, looking pretty good. And we're still having an uptrend here. And it's just a normal little, what is it, like a 1% pullback day, and people are already ready to abandon ship, what seems like. But yeah, this just looks like another higher low right now in the micro. And I would even say, you know, on the macro, you have this sort of parallel channel downtrend here that we've had that we still need to break. And I said 92,000 is the level to confirm break this downtrend. But, you know, if you just look at the trend line, which I'm not a huge trend line guy, I'm more of a Wyckoff guy, but, you know, it's something. It's not everything. It's something, though. It appears to be a break of that and then a back test of it. And if that's what it is, that is a very, very good thing to do. XLM or XYO. I would probably say XYO. I don't mind XLM, but I would probably say XYO. Price prediction for Ethereum, 7,000. And apparently their Ethereum's their new upgrade goes through pretty soon. Pectra, the Ethereum Pectra upgrade. And you're going to be able to do smart contracts functionality and wallets. And this is a big deal if this can go through right here. This feature will enable wallet software developers to build new convenience-oriented features such as the ability to pay transactions using various cryptocurrencies, not just ETH. So if you could pay ETH gas fees in like Solana or HBAR or XRP or something, I think Ethereum could be fine. Come for the music, stay for the show. Thoughts on ETH Classic? ETH Classic in a lot of ways is a leader of the market. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this. This is a big deal long term, not so much short term. I think people are wanting this to move the price of Ethereum. I think in the short term, over the year, Ethereum is very much oversold at this point. Anything under $2,000, I think is criminal for Ethereum. And, as much as I crap on Ethereum, it will lead the altcoin season. It will lead the altcoin season, okay? So we need Ethereum to get into all-time highs in order to have a very good alt season. So I'm rooting for that. And I think that this development, this upgrade, is a step in the right direction. I don't think it's everything, but it is something. Nothing is everything. Everything is something. So this final test, it's on the final test net right now, and they're going to be monitoring it for the next 30 days to see how that goes. Thanks for the roses. I appreciate you, bro. Came for the push-up competition. Stay for the show. Came for the push-up competition and stay for the show. But yeah, Bitcoin on the micro looking pretty good. Higher lows still, higher highs still. And that's what this looks like to be, another higher low. If we can get through this little downtrend, 84,000 or better, that's just another higher low. And we've already crossed the first line in the sand. The first line in the sand for me was getting daily body closes above $85,000. So we've done that for a few days now, so that is good. The second thing is going to be holding now 84,000 and holding this higher low structure. That would be the second line in the sand for me. And then the third one, which is going to be the bigger one, is getting above $92,000. If we can start getting daily body closes above $92,000, that's going to be a big deal. Make no mistake about it. And that would be a macro, not a micro, but that would be a macro trend reversal. And at this stage in the game right now, I don't want to call this a breakout, but it has the setup. It has the stipulations and the setup for that very thing. So I think that things are, either way, my prediction is still true. My prediction is still on that by May, the total 3 is going to do a 50+% move. And I've been saying that for a couple of weeks. I don't even know how much the total 3 has done since I said that. So what have we done? Let's see, actually, because I don't know. Let's pull up the total 3. And it's doing the same thing. Higher low structure, falling back a little bit more. From this little wick, though, already up, 16%. But I'm going to count it from the body. I'm going to count it from the base of this move, which is what I'm going to say is the bottom. We're up about 6%. So a 50% move puts us at a new all-time high. So that's what I'm thinking. Pretty close. And if you count from the wick, though, which I think is where it was, 50% puts us at the 702. 1 trillion. For total 3. Thank you for the heart, bro. Appreciate you. I wonder if the market will go up on April 2nd, doing the opposite of what retail thinks. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I just made a video about this today. I just made a video about this today. This notion that April 2nd is just over with. We're done for. That's it. I talked about it. It's like, trying to predict what Trump is going to do April 2nd is kind of like trying to predict what the weather is going to do April 2nd. Even the best meteorologists are going to have a hard time nailing down multiple weeks in advance what the weather is going to do on that specific day. And I think, predicting what Trump is going to do a specific day multiple weeks in advance is kind of like predicting what the weather is going to do a specific day multiple weeks in advance. But I am relating the tariffs event. In my mind, the tariff event is very much the same as the war in Israel event, in that it can be a negative thing in the market for a while. And it can bring the market down for a while. And it can be negative sentiment until there becomes a day when it's not. And that's what happened with the war in Israel. This was a negative narrative, a negative sentiment. And eventually, the war continued, right? The war still hasn't ended, if I'm not mistaken. And the prices went up. So that's kind of what I think that the tariffs is. It's a negative narrative until the market gets used to it. And at this point, I would argue that that is already priced in. I would argue that that has already been priced in. Hey, what's up, fam? Love that you aren't a hype boy. Ski started with you last bull run. Welcome. Like a true OG. What's up, Solana community? I still think the meteorologist has a better chance to predict the weather than Trump. That's probably a good point. I mean, it's very hard to predict what the weather is going to do 2 weeks from now. But yeah, I think it's comparable. Thoughts on Solana? I like Solana a lot. I am very bullish on the technology of Solana. Now, if you're asking me the price returns on Solana, I don't think it's going to do that well. It'll be all right. I think that the price of Solana gets you, $400 or $500, which is pretty good compared to the stock market. Right now, it's oversold in my opinion. Very much oversold. What is $400 is about a 2x from here. $500 is about a 2.5x. So that's my prediction for the rest of the bull market for Solana, is doing somewhere between a 2 and 2.5x. Which is really good compared to the stock market. But if you're thinking that you're going to invest, $20 into Solana and you're going to be able to retire, I don't think that that's real. But I am very bullish on the technology of Solana, and I will be accumulating Solana aggressively in the bear market. It's going to be one of my top bear market buys. It's probably going to replace Ethereum for me, to be honest with you. How do we know we're not in a dead cat bounce and then continue lower? Watch my video. I just made a video, 5 reasons the bear market is not here. 5 reasons the bear market is not here. Number 1 being bear markets do not start with the fear and greed being, at the time, it was in the teens. Literally 15. It's now 33. This is still fear, though. That's not how bear markets start. Bear markets start with them being in the 90s, the 100s. Not 100s, but you get the idea. So, bear markets do not start with the fear and greed being in the teens. That's where bottoms come in. Bottoms come in with fear and greed being in the teens. Bear markets do not start also with Bitcoin dominance being on a straight line for the past 2 years. Bear markets do not start with this. Bear markets do not start with you not crossing the 50-week moving average. Why did my chart freeze here? All right, so this right here, this is the 50-week moving average. Not only do you have to not touch it, you need to cross it and get below it. If we start getting weekly closes below here, okay, I will pay attention. But this is what starts a bear market. Let me show you. This red moving average, there's never been a bear market start without getting below it. What the move that you're talking about would look like this. Getting below it, coming back, testing it as support as a dead cat bounce, and then rolling over. So if we were trading below this right now, I would argue like you have something there. But the fact that we haven't even crossed below it yet, I think there's still a lot of work to do. And then on the weekly too, one thing that you want to see, if you start getting below 40 on the RSI in a bull market, you want to hold 40 as support. That's what we've done. The last time we were below 40 on the RSI on the weekly was in the depths of the bear market. And we've held it as support the entire time. If we start breaking that, cracking that, that would be a sign. Says, yes, bro, saw you in Target today. You did not see me in Target today. Could XYO still do 50 cents? I've never had a 50 cent XYO target, not one time. My target is somewhere between 10 and 20 cents. Can you talk about XRP with its market cap? It's crazy to think that these high numbers. Yeah, XRP has the same market cap as BlackRock. You know, is BlackRock this micro cap gem that's going to 1000x from here? No. So why would XRP? One of the few voices I trust. Q2 outlook for Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin makes an all-time high by Q2. If you're saying Q2 is the summer months, though, I do think that the summer is going to be boring. That's sell in May, go away. That's a saying. That's not my saying. That's not my rule. That's not what I'm telling you to do. Let me be clear. That's not my saying. That's not my rule. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But that is a saying in the market. Sell in May, go away. And my prediction with that is that we're going to rally into May. And we're going to be boring in the summer months. June, July, August, September. Before going into euphoria, October, November. Hopefully that answers your question, Steven. Jabril, thanks for great content in our group. Yeah, Coffee's been killing it in the Skis exclusive group. Coffee's been putting in overtime, studying. I like what he's doing, for sure. Solana 400 to 500 this cycle, 1,000 later. I think that that's very realistic. If breaking 70K means bear market, is it better to exit rather than waiting for that? I don't know that means bear market. Who's saying that means bear market? Says, I ask him so many questions. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of really good things. And that's the whole point of the group. Is not just be me as a resource, but me as like a, here's what I do, here's what's helped me in my past, and then get a group of like-minded individuals together in order to iron sharpen iron. So that's the whole point, in my opinion. 2 NFTs get you lifetime access to exclusive group. Yep, that's right. All right, so BZ, who is saying, I want to like expand upon this. Who is saying 76K means bear market? Who's saying that? Solnick is looking fire. LFG, I agree. Solnick is outperforming the market. Which do you like holding for 5 years? Sol or Bitcoin? Both. You know, if you Jamil says it's a bear market. I don't know who that is. Let me search. Let me see if I can get a picture. Somebody send me a picture. JAM. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's coming up. Jamil is TikTok and has a group. I don't know who that is. News looks good. I bought a little more today. We could pull up news. Listen, I gave you the stipulations, what you need in order to have a bear market. I don't care what anybody says. What you need to start a bear market is, here's 4 things. Number 1, fear and greed must be in the 90s. Number 2 thing that you need in order to start a bear market. You must cross the 50-week moving average. Daily body. Number 3 thing that you need in order to start a bear market is you have to cross the 2-week 20 EMA and then back test it as resistance. None of these things have happened. 0. Says you hate me. I don't hate anybody. I thought you said clear previous low means bear market. Must misheard. No. No. Because what I think is happening is Wyckoff accumulation. I'm gonna go over this. If you guys want to see my charts, I'm live on YouTube if you want to see my charts. What I think, so what you could get is a spring, and that would technically, according to Wyckoff, you could technically get a 75, and that would still wouldn't be a break. Now, if you start getting a downtrend from there, yeah, news looks like it's working on accumulation. To me, I mean, it's broke the downtrend here. All right, let me see about this dude. Because I honestly don't know who it is. I feel like maybe I've heard the name. Yeah, I have no idea. See if I can find him. Nope. Somebody send me him on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Telegram. What do you think about Z-Beck? I don't. We should chart how many more push-ups. It would be negative. You would owe me. Again, no more talk. We already talked all about it. There's no more talk. You send me a video and that's it. Alex knows him. He goes live with Alex Costa some. He is short-term bullish now. Listen, I don't care what other influencers think. His name is Jam on TikTok. Okay. Listen, I don't care what other influencers think. That's how I've made so much money. Because I do the opposite of what other influencers think. I don't know anything about this guy. He might be the greatest of all time, but I disagree if he thinks we're in a bear market. Because you need those 4 things to happen. They've happened every time to signify a bear market. Says, I can only do 7 push-ups. Can you go over the 3 things indicates a bear market? Yes. All right, one more time. So you guys can know for yourself. It's really 4 things. But here are some things. We'll say some and we'll count at the end. Okay? Here are some things that signify entering into a proper bear market, which we have not. Okay? Number one is crossing body closes below the 50-week moving average. We are significantly above the 50-week moving average right now. That's number one. Number two, if you go on the 2-week chart and then you look up the 20 EMA, which is this red line right here for me, crossing the 20 EMA and then back testing it as resistance. So what was support, it was the floor. You go through it, come back, and it's now the ceiling. That is a bear market. Confirmation. We are above the 20 EMA on the 2-week, and we have not even crossed it yet. Number three, Bitcoin dominance. Bear markets do not start with Bitcoin dominance being on a straight line to Valhalla. It doesn't need to go to 30 or 40, but it's not going to start at 60. I guarantee you. That is not how bear markets have ever started, and they will never start that way. Number four, bear markets do not start with the fear and greed a week ago was at 15. That is how bottoms come in. That is not how tops come in. Bottoms come in with the fear and greed being in the teens, not the tops. What's up with your boy William Watson? Listen, I've done one live stream with William. That's not my boy. I don't know. What's he doing? You tell me. So you're bullish. Absolutely. I think the total 3 does a minimum of a 50% move. Total 3 is everything that is not Bitcoin and Ethereum. Minimum of a 50% move between now and May. The fear and greed is around what? Right now it's at 33. A week ago it was at 15. Listen, you guys keep asking me what I think about so-and-so. Here's my answer to every other male. If you ask me what do I think about a man? I do not. There are no men that I think about. I'm sorry. What do you think about so-and-so person? I don't. I don't think about them even a little bit. Why do you think Solana can get above 10 cents? Because of the BYOB movement. Be your own bank. First of all, 99% of coins do not make it past 3 months. Solana is making higher highs and higher lows for a year straight. In fact, not only has it been making higher highs, but here's the crazy part. Every bottom, this is a crazy stat that is true. Every bottom for Solana, because it doesn't just go up in a straight line forever, right? There's ebbs and flows just like everything. Every bottom for Solana has been a minimum of a double from the previous bottom. Between 100 to 300 plus %. %300 from the previous bottom. I will show you. So this bottom to this bottom was 3,000%. This bottom to this bottom, 100%. I didn't even grab it right. Let me grab it right. 101%. And this bottom to this bottom, 300%. Every single bottom has minimum of 100% more than the last bottom. That's not even talking about making higher highs. That's the bottom. But the BYOB movement. So tomorrow we're doing a demonstration with on-chain, and they're going to show how you're going to be able to buy Solana with Google. If you have a Gmail, a click of a button, you're going to be able to buy Solana. So he's going to do a demonstration. That's going to be released in the next couple of weeks. Staking. You're going to be able to lock up your Solana and earn APY. Be your own bank. BYOB. There's a documentary coming out called BYOB that Solana is producing. And it goes over everyone knows the macro story of 2008, right? But it goes over the micro story on how it specifically affected me and my life in my hometown. It goes over what the big banks did to my little small Midwestern hometown, what they did to my family and my life, how the big banks affected the corruption that nobody went to jail for. And it shows why it's so important. Like, this is where the big banks left us. This is where Big Pharma left us. And instead of needing tens of millions of dollars of capital to access the same tools that the banks have, you're going to be able to access these tools for the regular person to earn money on their money, to help liberate them from the shackles of this financial game with $10 or $100 or $1,000, that regular people are going to be able to do it. So you're going to be able to stake, lend, borrow, yield, liquidity mine, everything that you can do, that PayPal does to make money, that Wells Fargo does to make money, that JP Morgan does to make money. You, me, and everyone else is going to be able to do that. But 10 cents is not a retracement, correct? 10 cents is a parabolic number. It's not a retracement. That's right. Can you increase bearish target to 50 cents? My medium is $1. My bull is $5.89. XEN looks like a breakout shortly. Let's see. ICP and DOT, May predictions. I think they will retrace by then. Is XEN going to break out soon? I don't know. I don't know if I would call it a breakout, but it does look like a bottom structure is forming here. Look how hot this got on the daily. Like, man, I promise you guys, on everything I love, I was screaming from the mountaintops to take profit on XEN back in January. On my mama, on my hood, on everything, I was saying take profits on XEN. But this looks like a bottom. Look how hot this got on the RSI. This got all the way to 98 on the RSI. That's insane. But, you know, let's see. This looks like a selling climax right here. And then you have your, you know, it hasn't quite got the secondary test, but we'll see. But this little rounded structure on top of the 200 moving average. If this could hold, this could be the bottom here. Now, that doesn't mean a V bottom out of here, that it's going to break out tomorrow. Because, like you could see, like when you broke the structure, when you inevitably broke that downtrend, you were, you know, ranging for a while. But to me, this could be your sign of strength here. A big one at that. But I did think that this was the sign of strength over here. That's what I thought. I thought that this was accumulation, your sign of strength, your reaccumulation, your move to the upside, reaccumulation again, breakout, back test. We'll see. Let's get some accumulation in here. It doesn't look too bad. And if we were to pull a micro fib on it, definitely a better buy than it was in January. I will say that. Retracement is 3.5 cents. If the bottom can hold. So that's a 2.8x. And then Parabolic would take you to a new all-time high, 14 cents. So we'll see. That doesn't mean tomorrow, though. I still think it has some work to do, but it's getting closer. Price prediction for Dogecoin, $1 to $2. Do you recommend selling all ICP DOT in May to buy back all in Solana in September? I have higher convictions in Solana, but I have high convictions in ICP and DOT as well. But definitely, Solnic is my highest 100x play. But I'm not a financial advisor. Are we going down? What in your mind, what says down? If you're asking me, are we going to have a red day? The answer is yes. If you're asking me, are we going to break another leg lower? I think the answer is no. Right? Make sure you guys are spamming the like button, hitting the share. I'm live on YouTube right now. If you want to see my charts and get the music and all the fun little animations and all that, and the better viewing experience, I'm live on YouTube right now. TikTok lost its privileges from me. It's on probation from me. Thank you for the $2 donation, Joseph. I appreciate you.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Ski, what will you sell in May to be fair to crypto? It depends on what moves do what. I'm not like married to... I have price targets that I'm looking to de-risk on. And that's what I'll be doing. I'm not married to I need to sell in May. I've already de-risked a lot, right? So XRP was my second largest holding. And I've already accomplished my goals. So, and I already de-risked on XRP at $3.33. So I'm in a place where I can be patient and I can let the market come to me. And I can do the opportunities that the market gives me. I don't need to force. I don't need to push. So if I get opportunities to de-risk at certain levels, whether it be retracements or whether it be price discovery, parabolic, I will take those opportunities. But if they don't come, I'm not going to force it just because this is what the schedule has been. What's good, Ski? Hope we're well today. Let's go, Joseph. Thanks, fam. Yeah, feeling great. You got to get back in, bro. It's going to the moon. I'm still in it. I just de-risked. As in, I took my risk out of the equation. As in, I guaranteed a profit, and now I have house money. Big D, thanks for the lightning, bro. I appreciate you, you savage. Appreciate you, fam. Ski, thoughts on Z-Back? Everyone keeps asking me about Z-Back. Big D, thanks for the lightning, bro. ZBCN. Let's see. ZB. Will 1,000 sats break the downtrend? I think it already has. Z-Back, I don't mind this chart. It looks like accumulation to me. Parabolic is 0076, so 7/10 of a penny, basically. That's about a 7x from here. Take another camping trip. I will. I'm waiting on for my trees to get here. I ordered some trees in February, and they keep delaying them. So whenever my trees come in, I'm going back to the farm and I'm going to go camping. I'm going to plant my trees. Because the best time to plant an orchard was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. So you explained retracement. What is parabolic and price discovery using Solana as an example? Okay, so price discovery is just the lower end of parabolic. So I have different tiers of parabolic, and I basically do it by the Fibonacci. So you have 1618 is price discovery. That's the lowest end of parabolic. Then you have parabolic, which I consider to be 2618. And then you have the 3618, which is maximum parabolic. Likely. You see stuff go above the 3618 all the time. But for me, as an investor, the way that I view the market, I am a day early and a dollar short. I do not want to wait for the day that never comes. So I take profit early. And I'm okay leaving the 4236 is what is actually maximum parabolic. I leave that for somebody else, and it's just a gift. And so parabolic is, so yesterday's example, we did the retracement. You just drop it, and it bounces 50 to 70%. Well, imagine this is a bouncy ball. Instead of dropping it, you hurl it. And then you're going to go higher than where you started. It's the same thing. Suki's still on your good list. Suki's been moving. Last I checked. Oh, no, they haven't. They're still just accumulating. I lied. Thanks for the hat and mustache. Yeehaw! Solana current price. How many X to get to 10 cents? I think that's a 13X. 20X maybe? Let's see. $14X. $14X. Can you chart 1,000 sats? What is there a ticker for it? Top value plays right now: Solnic, News, H&T, Rose, ICP, Shiba, Dent, VeChain, Knock, IOTA, Flux, Theta, Krill, Suki, Raven, Dynex, Dot, LCX, Sauce, Hehe, Crow, Phantom, One, XYO, ADA, and Link. Hi, Ski. Got here late. Did you go over VeChain and XYO already? We talked about XYO. Someone asked me if my target was still 50 cents, and I said it never has been 50 cents. It's been 10 to 20 cents. H&T hitting 20 by May. I think that that's very plausible. That's not a ridiculous take. Very plausible. And I would say a decent probability. VeChain's looking good, though. I like 14Xs. Me too. Me too. Ondo will reach 7 soon. Will Ondo reach 7? I don't think that that's my target. What is my target for Ondo? I don't mind the value here. I do think it's bottomed. So my target for Ondo is $4, not 7. Still bullish on Dent? Yes. Thoughts on Polygon? I like Polygon. So I think that Ondo is bottomed here. There's a little bit of there's too much inflation for me, but I think it can get to $2 to $4 is my target. Retracement for Matic is about $3. Do you think Unity will go 25 plus by May? Will Polygon reach $3? If so, why isn't it a value play? Because I think there's more upside potential than that. Does ICP have inflation? It does, but it's not enough for me to be concerned about. There's a threshold where the inflation becomes an issue. And basically, all I really... So, okay, let's back up here. When I'm looking at inflation for an investment, I'm okay with a little bit. I don't think it's the end of the world if a coin has inflation, right? But what I don't want is for the inflation of the coin to outpace the thing that I'm measuring it in, right? So what are we measuring the coins in right now? We're measuring it in US dollars, right? So if their project outpaces the inflation of the US dollar, it's a no for me. And I don't go off of what they tell us the inflation is. So I have a wide threshold for that. I go off of what is actual inflation. What is actual inflation? The national debt doubles every 4 years. That's inflation. Right? So if a coin does less than a double of inflation in 4-year period, I will consider it. If it does more than that, it's out because it's outpacing the US dollar. Render $10 to $20. That's a 22x. What's a 22x? a lot of these alts aren't going to make last cycle highs, are they? No. Correct. You are correct. But almost all of them with low to no inflation will retrace, which is why whenever anyone asks me my price target, the first thing that I always give is a retracement level, because I don't know if it's going to go parabolic or not. I have my theories, but I know as long as something's not broken, it's going to retrace. I'll give you an example. Like XRP last cycle only retraced from the 2017 cycle, and people said it was dead. Right? So XRP was $3. What was the price? Let me not talk out of my. Let's just look at XRP as an example. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. This happens a lot. So in 2017, XRP got to $3.40. $3 and yeah. No, that's a lie. $3.31. That's what XRP got to. Okay, in 2017. Then it crashes, and then it went to the 618. So it got to basically $2 in 2021, and that was it. That's a retracement. And everyone said that XRP was dead, even though it's already made an all-time high now. A lot of coins will do that same move from the top to the bottom to a retrace. And that's a good place to de-risk, at least your initial investment. And depending on your conviction, you could do less or more, but I think de-risking at a retracement level is a wise thing to do. Says, brother, the Bears are winning. Are they? I don't know, bro. We've been making higher highs and higher lows for a couple weeks now. Sup. So Sonic, VeChain, Solana, HBAR, 50K investment, 7 to 10x next bull run. I think that's very plausible. All those are long-term plays for me and good plays. You think Polygon will reach 1618 around 450? It's plausible. Depending on what chart you're looking at too, there's some that's different. Yeah, I think it has a good chance, especially Ethereum layer 2s. I think you're going to do good. Tariff next week are going to kill any momentum. That's the narrative, but I disagree. Listen, Da7 and everyone listening, any narrative. Here's the deal. I just made a video about this. It's not the event that the markets don't like. Okay? This is something that you need to understand it as if you want to be like a sophisticated investor who is consistently profitable. It is not the event that the markets do not like. Whether it's the tariffs, whether it's Japan cutting their rates, whether it's the war in Israel, whether it's Silicon Valley Bank, whether it's FTX, whether it's Luna, whether it's whoever the president is. It's not the event that the markets do not like. It is the uncertainty that the markets do not like. Okay? And no matter what you think of the Orange Man, whether you worship the ground he steps on or you hate his guts and he makes you physically ill, most likely you will find yourself in one of these camps. Regardless of how you feel about the Orange Man. The war in Israel in 2023, when World War III was being shoved down our throat, is not worse than the tariffs. It's just not. I'm sorry, it's not. And just like the tariffs is a scary news event that every time it was mentioned, the markets were shocked. The markets were shocked. Big crash, big crash, big crash. Every time they mentioned it. Until, guess what? The markets got used to this event. The war continued. And new heights were reached. At some point, I don't know if it's April 2nd. I think it probably is. At some point, the markets are no longer going to care about tariffs. At some point, that is going to happen. My guess is it's sooner rather than later. By the way, we're fully back on top of the 200 moving average. That was a big deal. We've had multiple closes on top of that now. I just realized that. We have 3 body closes on top of the 200 moving average, and the 20 has now crossed the 200 to the upside. So we're within, I want you guys to know how close we actually are. We are a 5% move. We are a 5% move from where we are at right now to flipping in the most bullish posture. Summer, crypto going to be dead. Crypto's going to be boring in the summer. That is my prediction, yes. But I think we rally into May. Tariffs are already priced in. I would agree. Tim says, forget the Bears. I'm rooting for the Packers. and you might say this notion that the Bears are winning. I would say that the Bears won the battle, but the war is far from over. That's what I would say. Four times 4 Chevelle for the ranch. No. Sorry. You think we see a flash drop on the second, then V-shaped recovery? We'll see. A lot of it's going to be determined by what we do between now and then. If we pump into April 2nd, then yes. April going to be a good month. Bears aren't winning, but they're battling the Bulls. Like Jordan, the Bulls will win. Bulls win! Bulls win! So you think altcoins are going to be going parabolic in September, October? October, November. September typically is one of the worst months in crypto. When you look at the monthly chart, I'll tell you. Hold on one second. I don't have it. The Bitcoin seasonality chart. That's what it is. Bitcoin seasonality. Let's see if I can find this real quick. Here it is. Boom. Come on now. Come on now. All right. So, yeah, typically August and September are the worst performing months. January, February, March are pretty low. April, May are the best months, along with October, November. So there you go. That has been the case. There's been some that have been higher, some that have been lower, but this has been pretty accurate. But September typically is the worst month in crypto. That is historically the worst one. With the average return for Bitcoin is negative 5%. In October, for Bitcoin, has an average return of 29.6%. November has an average return of 40.1%. April has an average return of 30.86%. So we're very quickly going into the second best performing month in all of crypto. We will see. I've learned so much watching your content. Just want to say thank you. Big D, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the roses, Kevin and Big D. And the donuts, Kevin. I appreciate you. So I'm buying more in August and September. So we sell part of our bags and hold for the summer. If you get the opportunities, I think that's a wise thing to do. Meaning you shouldn't just sell. This is what I'm going to say. Okay, Richard. That is generic advice. But in reality, if your coin is up a 2, 3, 4x, then take that opportunity to de-risk a little bit. If it's not, and it's good fundamentally, it has good tokenomics, don't just sell just for the sake of like, well, it's May. I think that that's the wrong thing to do. You know what I mean? Retracement for TIA. What's the first most profitable? November. November is the most profitable month in all of cryptocurrency. Historically, with about 15 years of data. The average return on investment for November is 40.1%. To put that in perspective, that is about 5 years of stock market gains. That is the average return in November. So, realistically, the best thing to do would be buy August and September and enjoy the gains. Based off of the seasonality chart, the best thing to do would be buying in the summertime. Not re-enter. You want to be exiting in the fall, not entering. You want to be exiting in the fall, not entering. In order to experience the 40% gain, you must have accumulated in the negative 5%. Blockchain backer thinks XRP gets to $8 to $10. What do you think? There's a couple. There's like 2 or 3 other analysts, technical analysts, who I really respect their work. And I think that they believe wholeheartedly and have came to their conclusions by using a ton of data, logic, and reason. Blockchain backer is on a very short list of people that I hold their TA in very high regard. But I agree. $5 to $8 is my target. $12 is my bull case scenario. But I think 5 to 8 is more probable. Go check which chain is the most decentralized and buy it. It's ETH. If you had 5K and you had only one crypto to buy, what would it be for your first choice? Probably Bitcoin. My first one, like, as in my first crypto that I'm buying ever? Is that what you're saying? By the way, guys, I'm live on YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, I am live on YouTube with my charts. Who are some other analysts on your list? There's really only one other one, to be honest with you. Waters Above. I don't agree with everything he says. Just like I don't agree with everything that Blockchain Backer says. But I respect their work and I respect how they got there. You know what I mean? But that's about the end of the technical. Like, there's other people that I respect, obviously. But as far as pure technical analysts, that's about the end of the list for me. And then you got Leonardo Fibonacci. You have Richard D. Wyckoff. Those are the GOATs. and I consider myself a disciple of Richard D. Wyckoff. XRP go to $50. Not this cycle. What's the paper sign saying behind you? It says, I'm live on YouTube right now. I thought it didn't work out as well as I wanted it to, but I was going to just put this whiteboard up that says, I'm live on YouTube. Maybe I'll just hold it like this. I don't know. I'm live on YouTube. That's what it says. So head over there. And spam the like button over there. Ski will be happy if XRP hits $10. I will be extremely happy if XRP hits $10. Will ICP go to $80? Wyckoff versus Elliott Wave. I'm a bigger believer in Wyckoff, but I know Elliott Wave. I'm not a master at Elliott Wave. I have an understanding of Elliott Wave. I would say I'm more of a master of Wyckoff, though. But a lot of times they'll tell you the same thing. Will ICP go to $80? I think $30 is my bear target and $100 is my parabolic target. AVAX, $200 to $300. XRP to $6. My target for XRP is $5, $8, as high as $12. So listen, I accumulated XRP at the average price of 20 cents. My average price last cycle was about 33 cents. My average price overall on XRP is 20 cents. My targets since 2022 on where I will be exiting were as follows. $1.11. Check. $2.22. Check. $3.33. Check. I am 40% out of my XRP that I accumulated at 20 cents. The remainder of my XRP exit strategy is going to be $5, $8, and $12. Black belt in Wyckoff, blue belt in Elliott Wave. That's probably correct. Penlink. I don't think Penlink is a bad buy right here, or I think it's bottomed relatively. I got a lot of hate on Penlink in November. I was extremely bearish on Penlink in November. And I said, for the love of God, take profit. And I got a lot of hate for saying that in November and December. Okay? And everyone just thought I was a Penlink hater. Like, no, I'm not, bro. I know what Parabolic looks like when I see it. But it had its distribution, and it's had a markdown at this point, and it's broken the downtrend, and it's working on accumulation. I think that it's a decent value here. Risk to reward, I think it's decent. I think it does a 7x from here to price discovery. Any thoughts on Ondo? My price target for Ondo is $2 to $4. There's too much inflation for me. You own any quant? I do own quant. All right, TIA. I don't like that it broke this. Oh, and look, I've already put this here. So this tells me, that's what I just was thinking. Listen, I promise you. So I saw this, and I was like, man, it broke this. That's weird to me. That leads me to believe that there's inflation on this. And then I have this circled right here, and I have this circled right here. So you know what? That leads me very strongly to, I thought that there was inflation on TIA before, and then I discovered that there probably was. Let's see. Yes, the inflation is double, more than. So yeah, this parabolic, that's exactly what I was doing. This parabolic peak right here, the price should have been somewhere in here at $22. TIA is not a play for me. I think we'll be lucky to get back to the 0.5, which is about $12. SUI. I feel the same way about SUI. I'm not a fan of SUI. Way too much inflation for me. 7x the inflation. If your average on Polygon is 128, DCA it down, bro. Show me 92 and 2180 on ETH and I short the out of it. Are you talking about 92 on the RSI? I would agree with that. How can you measure a coin inflation? Look at the FTV. Easy. The simplest way is go on CoinMarketCap, look up any coin, and just look at the market cap versus the FTV. They should be similar. You don't want them to be double. So you don't want the market cap to be 2.1 or 2 billion and then the FTV to be 4 billion. That's not good. Or like SUI. Because, okay, here's the truth. Here's a harsh truth in crypto, and I'm going to make a video about this because this is a good topic. So SUI, for instance, $8.4 billion market cap, but the FTV is 26 billion. So that means there's almost 4x inflation. That's insane. That's way too much. Way too much. So here's the harsh truth in crypto. Okay? Especially when evaluating altcoins. Most altcoins are not profitable if you view them as a company, because that's what you really should view them as. You should view them like you're considering investing in the stock market per se, into a low market venture capital position, right? And you got your Bitcoin is like your ETFs, and this is your foundation of your portfolio, your meat and potatoes. And then you got your blue chips, right? And then you have some speculative, you have some SPACs. And when you're evaluating these SPACs, how would you evaluate a company and its health? You would evaluate, is this a profitable company or not? If it's not a profitable company, if the company is not making money, that is a dying company. And so a lot of cryptocurrencies are the same. They are not profitable companies. And so how do they generate revenue in the meantime? They dump supply on your head. That is the harsh truth. That's a harsh reality in crypto. You should evaluate, is this project making money? And are they making money by dumping supply on my head? If the answer is yes, that's not a good investment. Is that why Ondo isn't moving? The inflation is bad? Yes. 100%. I've been on that for a while. Yes, FTV on CoinMarketCap is an easy way to check the inflation. Just compare the market cap to the FTV. That's an easy way. A little bit is tolerable. Like if you look at Bitcoin's FTV versus market cap, it's not the exact same. And we know Bitcoin to be the hedge against inflation, right? So if we look at Bitcoin's market cap is 1.73 trillion and the FTV is 1.83 trillion, right? So that's acceptable. That's not a double, right? That's a little bit, because there's still going to be another 1 million coins that gets released into the supply forever. Over the next 140 years, there's going to be 1 million coins that get dumped into the market, right? But that's a very tolerable amount. Whereas if something is like triple or double, or it's like, bro, you're fighting an uphill battle. What stage of Wyckoff is Solana in? You would probably say reaccumulation or the SOS. The sign of strength is most likely. Does that mean that XVG is better than TIA? Better as far as what? Better, what are you measuring as better? XVG? What is your measurement of better? If you're talking about are the tokenomics better, I would say yes. The tokenomics on XVG are way better than TIA. It's not particularly close. I actually don't mind the chart on this either. So my guess is you will still have 75,000 XRP left after selling 40%. Web is curious. George, just guessing. I have enough, Web. I got enough. Does that mean... Yes. Okay, if you're measuring XVG based off inflation, it's way better. Solana XRP ADA link best. That's a solid list of coins, I think. That was a good one. Somebody. You keeping any XRP long term? Yes, I will be keeping XRP long term. If I do it correctly, 100% correctly, I will still have 15% of my XRP. So my plan is to sell about 15% at $5, 15% at $8, 15% at $12, and then I will keep the rest long term. If XRP really wants to go to $5.89, and if it really wants to go to $10,000 or whatever else, so be it. I will have more than enough to have more than enough. Where at Google can we buy Solnic? Just with the Gmail. So we're going to get a demonstration tomorrow on that. It was supposed to be today, but we had a little bit of miscommunication, so we got rescheduled for tomorrow. But it's just going to be like a website or any website, and there's going to be a link where you're going to be able to click a button, connect your Gmail, and then any Apple Pay, Google Pay, debit card, credit card, however you have money, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to buy Solnic just like that. Any thoughts on SAC pushing for stablecoin legislation? I've talked about this a little bit. It almost feels like Trump is the Trojan horse. You know what I mean? Like, and what do I mean by that? Man, that's a good hook, by the way. Coming soon to a screen near you is a video with your boy Ski saying Trump was the Trojan horse of crypto. That's a good hook. The Trojan horse of crypto. What do I mean by that? Well, 2022 and 2023, everyone was very paranoid and concerned, rightfully so, about CBDCs and world domination and the World Economic Forum and get your chip or you're not going to be able to eat, and freedom and sovereignty and all of these things, right? Of out with the crypto, and you must get your CBDC, your government sponsored cryptocurrency. Right? That was the thing in 2022 and 2023. If anyone was here and remembers all of that talk, that was real. That was real back then, right? And then, that hurt. I just dropped 2 ounces of silver on my toes. And then 2024, Trump was like sort of propped up as this crypto hero. And he's going to bring it all. He's going to bring the We're going to make the crypto great. A lot of people said, you're doing bad things, Sleepy Joe. But I said, let's make the Bitcoin great again. Right? Propped up as this crypto hero and the crypto president. But how he could be the Trojan horse of it all, potentially, is all I ever hear him talk about is stablecoin. Stablecoin, stablecoin, stablecoin. I don't hear no talk about Bitcoin regulation, altcoin regulation, Ethereum regulation, Solana regulation. All I hear is stablecoin regulation. So what could be a stablecoin? I don't know. Something to think about. Did the purchase option, you should listen. Did that purchase option ever happen with any other crypto before? No, this is a new technology. $1 million bare minimum. Got 1 million Casper, over 1 million Solana, 20,000 LCX. How much you think they will make in November? Yeah, honestly, that's I think you're going to be looking pretty good. I think Caspa is bottomed. I think LCX is in a good spot, and Solana too. Using crypto reverses and commodities to wipe out debt, smart. It could be. It could be. I just don't like all this stablecoin talk. I don't forget about what happened in 2022. And I'm not even accusing. I'm just curious, and I'm just saying be mindful, right? Be mindful. That's all I'm advocating for. I'm not being accusing, motherfucker. I'm not accusing. What beard oil do you use? If I remember to do it, bro. Listen. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I forget. I don't think I put beard oil on for like 2 weeks, if I'm being honest. I'm not saying that stuff is useless. I definitely think it makes my beard look nicer when I put it on. But I don't know that it helps it grow. I think a lot of time beard oil is sold as this thing to like help your beard grow or like help you get your patches out or something like that. I don't think that that's real. I think I was just blessed. Snake oils. Yeah. I don't sell beard oil or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I have a pretty big beard. I could definitely sell beard oil if I wanted to. I use it sometimes, but I use it really more like as a fragrance more than anything, or to clean. I think it's good at like cleaning your face underneath. But I use soap a lot too. Somebody, damn it. Do you still do portfolio reviews? I do portfolio reviews and consultations. Another hook between block and hard place. ICP or ADA for more guaranteed ROI. I would probably say guaranteed ADA. Upside, I would say ICP. That's what I would say. All right, guys. Time to max out credit card then. What are you thinking in regards to yield percentage from the Solana stake coin? I don't know that it's going to be a stake coin. We will see on that. We're still working through that. Sui has an unlock coming on April 1st. That's not good. Yeah, listen, man. I might close my long. Quant prediction 300 to 700, I think, is very probable. What do you think about the Crow news? What is the Crow news? Are you talking about the unburn? XRP, XLM, HBAR, My3. I like all of those. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't think that that's awesome. To me, it's like they never burned it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't unburn something, that's not real. So what that means is they put it somewhere. There is no unburning crypto. That's not a real thing. If you burn crypto, it is gone forever. So the fact that they unburned it means that they never burned it to begin with. They sent it somewhere temporarily and called it a burn, which is pretty sketchy to me. However, and I said this a couple of weeks ago before it started pumping, just like Solana had network outages 5+ times, nothing quite like price action will make us forget about bad news. Nothing like price to change sentiment. So, as Crow goes up in price, guess what? We're going to forget all about it. Says, I'm not trying to steal your thunder, just trying to help my grandpa and friends. What are you trying to help your grandpa and friends with? How high can Caspa go? 40 to 60 cents is my target. What cold wallet to save Solnic? Yeah, Ledger. Working, driving, so good. FTV, lower than market cap. Other way around. No, you want the FTV to be lower than the market cap. Or near it. Like Bitcoin, for example. The market cap is 1.73 trillion. The FTV, meaning like what would the market cap be if every single token was released? So the 21 million. There's only 19.84 million right now. And there's going to be another 1.2 million or whatever, 1.16 million tokens to be released over the next 140 years. Which is not very much, you know, in the grand scheme of things. But the FTV is 1.83 trillion. So that means that there is inflation in the future. It's just a very small amount. But what you don't want is an FTV where it's like double the market cap or triple or quadruple. That's not good. Can you make a video of saving Solnic on Ledger? I can. All you need is your Solana address. Just send it there. How high can optimism go? I don't know. I think my target on what is my target for optimism? They have a lot of inflation too. Like triple. So probably a retracement. Run the fibs on quant. I think it's much higher. 1388 is the high. 700 is the low. Have you heard of V20 cold wallet? I have not. Yeah, so $3. Easy to put on Tangent Wallet. If you had 5K and you only had one altcoin to choose right now, what would it be? Solana is my highest conviction. If you're asking me for a blue chip, it'd probably be... Oh, what is my highest conviction blue chip? As far as like potential, so how I would break it down would be potential for the next year, potential for the next 10 years, low inflation, plus what they're doing and who they're partnered with. When you factor those together, who would I pick for a blue chip? Man, I would probably pick ADA for the bluest of chips, and I'd probably pick VeChain. Yeah. Everyone said the same thing. I like Chainlink too. Chainlink has a little bit more inflation. It's not crazy. Chainlink's in my kid's portfolio, if that tells you anything. It should. That means it's a 10-year play for me. Sui has an unlock coming on April 1st. Yeah, that's not good. What about LCX? LCX is not a blue chip. LCX is a medium cap. I like LCX, though. Like, what is LCX's market cap right now? LCX is $150 million market cap. To put it in perspective for you, how do you determine inflation? The easiest way is to look at FDV. So go on CoinMarketCap, type in whatever coin you want, and you want the market cap and the FDV to be in the same neighborhood. They can be off by 10, 20, 30% even, but if it starts being off by like 100+%, that's a bad sign. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts on Casper? I do not like Casper. Listen. Oh, man. So I've been doing this a long time. I've been streaming. I've been a streamer of crypto for a long time. Like I did almost every day in the bear market. 2022, 2023, I was going live almost every day. And I'm going to pretend like you asked me for the first time that anyone's ever asked me about Casper with the red one. The red Casper is what we're talking about here. I'm going to pretend like you're the first person that's ever asked me, and it's late 2022/2023. This is exactly what I did. We're entering into a time machine. And we're now in late 2022, early 2023, and you just asked me about Caspa, and you're the first person that ever asked me about it. Okay, let's go. We're here. Caspa. What the hell is this chart? No, thank you. That was the end of my Caspa career. That was it. I have no interest in any coin that has a chart that looks like this. None. Zero. Like, what is this? And it's just like, I don't care what they're doing. I can't give any analysis based off of this. And they just continue to make more lows from that moment. Like they've just continued to make even more and more lows from the bear market low. You know, from 2022, they're still making new lows. So no, it's a no for me. And what is the FDV on this? I mean, it looks like the inflation's done, I guess. It's just a weird chart. It's a weird, yeah. Maybe give it another cycle. You need to use Solana wallet app like Phantom to see your Solnic. There you go. XRP to $5 by May. It's possible. People are saying we won't have a bull run because we never had one with interest rates high. That's not true. 2017 had interest rates hikes. So that's not true, Timmy. That comment is true. ICP and Casper have similar charts, don't they? No. They have a similar spike from the beginning, but Caspa's is way worse. And I measure Caspa too from the initial spike. So the only time I even start charting Casper is November of 2021, which is after this crazy looking launch. But no, Casper's is way worse. Like I'm still scrolling. 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 Still. So yeah, Casper got to $49 gazillion at one point. Yeah, I don't know. So the first time I even measure the chart, though, I don't count any of that stuff, is November. And I do the same thing with ICP. I don't count that first initial, but it's nowhere near as bad. It's more of a liquidity thing. But I don't, that's what I say. Like, if you're counting that as the all-time high, ICP is not going to make an all-time high. I pull my charts and my Fibonacci's from the first, like, actual moves. But my phone's about to die, guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'll be live tomorrow. Probably about this 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing a demonstration with the on-chain people. It was supposed to be today, but there was some miscommunication. So we'll do that tomorrow. And he's going to do a demonstration for us, and we're going to get some more clarity on what the actual timeline is going to be. Suing each other. Yeah, that's not great. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'm always putting out banger after banger video content. I'm trying to just bring as much value to you guys as I possibly can. I don't get everything right. No one's 100%. I make mistakes, but I'm accountable for my mistakes. And I'm always trying to make things better and better and better and refine my process and help you guys do the same. Bye, guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.
Damn, hustling.